Olympics, and this is going to be an interesting one. Venezuela, their form coming into this tournament has not been great. They've had 5 pre-tournament games and they've come up short in all of them. And Slovenia, on the other hand, they are a high-quality team. But if we're trying to be frank and honest about it, you take Luka Doncic out of this team and they're still very good, but they're not a contender, such as the ability of a player like Luka Doncic and what he means to Slovenia. He's going to play a big part of it, and how in which they provide the support for Luka is going to go a long way, which we saw in the Olympic campaign in Tokyo. They got some really good support for him, and in particular, Klemen Prepelic was in particular really good with 15 points a game. He's going to have to step up again, as does Mike Tobey. 13 points and 10 rebounds during the Olympics. The big fella, and they're not overly big, Slovenia. So it's going to be an interesting one to see if Venezuela, whether they can lift a notch from what we've seen so far in the pre-tournament games.
Coach Sekulic, who is leading Slovenia, was asked what they could clean up after they had their exhibition games heading into World Cup play. And he says there's room to improve on defense. So we might see an emphasis there as far as Slovenia goes. And they too understand when Luka Doncic and Coach Sekulic was asked about Venezuela, they understand that this is a group now that has gotten better in the last 2 years. And so they're not gonna rest on that victory, which was 98-70. So, you know, that margin doesn't stand today as how they're coming into this contest.
No, that's right. And when we think of Slovenia or those teams from that area, you usually think of great size, and they're okay. Their average height of 199 centimeters, which 6'6" or thereabouts in.
Yeah, a few inches differential here.
But you look at Venezuela, they're very experienced, one of the oldest teams in the competition.
Georgia already getting its first victory here on the World Cup stage. Okinawa, Japan, where we'll start things off with national anthems. First with the visiting team, Venezuela.
National anthems. We begin with the anthem of Venezuela.
And now for the home nation,
Slovenia.
Slovenia.
For the national anthem of Slovenia.
closer to game time. Venezuela, Slovenia coming up in just a few moments. Venezuela in their pre-tournament press conference was asked how they're going to slow down Luka. And the team captain, David Kubian, answered, to pray. And he later on expanded on that thought and said, don't let Luka create for others. So that's going to be something of note for this Venezuelan squad as you're looking at the officiating crew for tonight's game on your screen right now. A tall task in international FIBA hoops.
Well, it is, and Luka, just one of the best players in the world as we speak, coming off another outstanding NBA season where he averaged 32.4 points per game, along with the assists of a little over 8 as we take a look at the starters for Venezuela. And of all these players that we see out here, there's a lot of veterans. Michael Carrera, he's probably one that's going to have the job on Luka Doncic, and the young fella as well. You see Soho, he's another one, really athletic. Gregory Vargas is the veteran.
Yeah, there's actually 5 players born between 1986 and 87 on this Venezuela squad. Michael Carrera, not one of those 5, but certainly a leader on the offensive end and the heartbeat for Venezuela. He's got some assistance. A little Robin to Batman and Colmenares. This is one of those players born in 86, 87. Colmenares, 35 years old and a power forward for Venezuela.
Average age of 32. And head coach with a lot of experience as well. He's been at the helm for quite some time.
7 years for Fernando Duro with Venezuela. Before that, this is actually his 2nd trip to Japan. He led Argentina here in 2001 at the World Cup. On the other side of the court, though, is Luka Doncic and his squad warming up. They had to deal with some jet lag, about a 7-hour difference between Slovenia and Okinawa, Japan. This is the starting group that they are going to go ahead with.
It's not. It's a nice lineup. Mike Tobey, the man in the middle, one of the few big guys that this team has. He's a 7-footer, and Zoran Dragic is the brother of Goran, who had that long career in the NBA, 13+ seasons. And this man on your screen, he can beat you in so many different ways. There we see his Eurobasket 2022 stats where they made it through to the quarterfinals. But his numbers only get better when you think of him in the NBA. He's just a freak, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. And Mike Tobey, that's the other one I was talking about. He played 4 years at Virginia, American born. But he was a part of the Tokyo Olympic campaign as well and did really well in Tokyo. Double-double. So they need a big performance from him.
And Alexander Zekiewicz will be leading the way as the head coach. This is a group that finished just off the podium in Tokyo. And like you mentioned, a quarterfinal exit in Eurobasket. A surprise of a loss here against Poland.
That's right. That's right. It's so tough in Europe. There's so many high-quality teams that's what Slovenia has an advantage playing in these tournaments, because they deal with it year in, year out with the various European competitions with their national teams. And even to qualify here, it's a battle.
A bonus for Venezuela in their last outing on the World Cup stage. They averaged 16.8 offensive rebounds. That was the best of every team last tournament. An area of excellence.
Slovenian teams, they don't have a lot inside, though, that we spoke about Mike Tobey. But him and Žiga Dimec are the only 2 players over 200 centimeters. So they're going to, they might be exposed inside as well. Good size across the board, but true big fellas down low. They don't have the same depth as some of the other teams.
For Slovenia, you talked a little bit about, Andrew, how important it's going to be to have players that can supplement the work of course, Luka Doncic. How important is it to get off to a hot start in this first game? There's got to be a lot of emotions going on, right?
For sure. Someone like Luka, he's been in some tough situations, started playing basketball at senior level at a very young age, so nothing's going to faze him. It's more, I think, for Venezuela. They're in a battle to get through. They will go into this game as the underdogs, but they are feisty. They don't back down. They play with a lot of emotion, and they're the sort of team that a good start will do them the world of good because they feed off that emotion. Easier said than done, but that's their objective, is to make sure that they don't let Slovenia get the jump on them. And how you guard Luka. Every single team in the competition, when they play Slovenia, that's going to be their #1 priority. Their work that they've been doing, sure, they're paying attention. They go through the scouting report with other players, but how you stop that man? Number 77, the superstar. If you stop him, you go a long way to helping your chances of getting the win.
Nearing a sellout. That accounts for about 8,500 fans here inside, all getting ready and anxiously awaiting Doncic's first appearance in the World Cup here in 2023. We're jumping Mike Toby with a clear height advantage here. And it's Venezuela that gets the tip. Jordi Vargas gonna run point, and he's the captain for Venezuela this evening. Soho looks inside, will work around the horn instead, shot up by Colmenares. Talks about nerves.
Well, that was just a poor shot. He's rubbing his hands together, maybe a little slippage, but that didn't get too far off the ground. Real flat line drive that drew nothing but air.
Doncic inside, Pereira there to cover. No one on the weak side, easy slam there for Toby.
Or Dragic with the pass down low. And not a good start on the defensive end. Pretty simple play, simple flex cut. And they come up with an easy, uncontested dunk.
Turiel, this time, lets it ring. Soho waiting in the corner. And that one goes down. Third time the charm for Venezuela.
Soho, real bouncy, really young, up-and-coming stars for Venezuela. And he's got the job to start with, guarding Luka.
Doncic going right at the rack, clearing his path. Around the horn we go, shot up by Soho, other wing. Yeah. The bank is open on Saturday.
Almost guaranteed he can call bank. That last possession though, Soho has got to do a better job trying to guard Luka to prevent the penetration, but if they're going to allow Luka to get that deep, he's going to need help. You can't guard Luka just one-on-one, you need help.
Ball inside to Toby. Try to muscle up. Dragic pulling the trigger, the lefty misses. Soho tries to save it. And the second chance opportunity pays out for Belic. Another look here at that battle under the basket.
You learn that when you're a youngster. Soho, you never try and save that ball unless you're 100% sure you're going to come up with it. You'd rather be out of bounds and have your defense set than just give your opponents a cheapie around the basket.
So a three-point play here, finish off by Bine Prepelic, the 22-year-old for Slovenia. working off the screen.
Wow.
Leach finds him.
A lot of contact off the ball. Look under the basket there with Michael Carrera.
Vargas pulling, top of the key, hits it.
And Venezuela has made their intentions clear. They're going to let it fly from the three-point line. All 5 of their field goal attempts have come for threes. They're 3 of 5.
Doncic. Everyone clears out. He kicks right to the rack.
It's too big. Vargas trying his best to keep Luka Doncic in front. Have a look, just bullies his way to the basket. And not sure what the foul was. This was the play earlier that I was talking about. Soho trying to guard Luka Doncic, but you need help. It's a handful already. To a perfect start, 2 of 2 in the field, 4 points. It's a friendly roll on the free throw.
I haven't heard the gym get this quiet for anybody since we've been here in Okinawa. Everybody holding their breath in awe of Doncic. And we talked about the physicality there. Carrera and Nikolic tangled up.
Well, Nikolic just jumps in front of the cut. Michael Carrera running what is commonly referred to as a shuffle cut. Here he goes off the screen and just jumps right out in front of him. Nikolic prepared to sacrifice his body because that is a big, strong man in Michael Carrera that he's got to take the screen and drew the offensive foul.
So just about 3 minutes in, it's a 1-point ball game. Luka now on the baseline. Kicks it, his teammate Toby hits it from downtown. Toby now with 5 points.
It's an area of his game that's really grown as well. When he first came out of college, that wasn't in his repertoire. Since playing his career in Europe has become so. And what about Michael Carrera?
With the left hook after walking down his man. Nikolic picks up his dribble. Needs some help. Kick back out, left alone. Nikolic makes him pay.
Not highly complicated. Not a lot of movement, but just get the man down low. There's another foul off the ball. They wanted to increase their defense, and this is Prepelic gets called for the foul. And here you see the replay. They go down to help out on the low post, the kick out to the uncontested 3. Good ball movement by Slovenia. They are letting him play off the ball. There is a lot of contact with players defending off the ball.
Soho down to the block. Colmenares, the cutter, hits it. They cough it up. And Doncic will get the whistle he wanted.
He wanted unsportsmanlike. I think that was a little ambitious. I think that
hanging around too long.
might have been a legitimate play on the ball. It wasn't excessive contact. And it certainly wasn't a breakaway. So highly unlikely they were going to get that as an unsportsmanlike.
5-point lead for Slovenia. Luka making his move to the rack. Fade away.
Oh, my.
The kiss off the glasses. We have 2 Venezuelan players intertwined, hitting the deck hard. Zamora was stalling, and another takeaway nearly by Slovenia. Inbound. Enough time to let let it rip. Soho will remind them he can shoot.
He's a perfect 3 of 3 from the field, and yet another 3-point field goal attempt. But now,
Doncic creating his own step back three. Bonkers!
he's showing us everything in the repertoire as we see him get to the rim, shoot the 3 ball.
And then a power move here, just feisty play by Michael Pereira through the gut of the defense. Dragic, a size advantage here. He works to get to the block. Foul is called on the floor.
Again, we see with Slovenia, not a lot of man movement. Just kick the floor spread, get it down low, but Luka, that's the patented Luka Doncic step back. How sweet it is, nothing but cotton. And it's a delight to watch. Never looks rushed. In fact, you look at him sometimes and it's like, is he getting out of first gear? But it's just, he's got such body control and makes the game come to him and reads the defense so well. Dragic gets a couple of free throws.
Because we're in the bonus here. So that's why you're seeing him on the free throw line. The lefty hits both. Dragic, drafted in 2014, had a short-lived career in the NBA. His brother Goran played last year with Milwaukee and Chicago, a little bit of time in Chicago as well. Kubian surveying the floor. The defense pushing out. Pereira trying to split past Doncic, and it's a block on the foul. He raises his hand. It's me.
It is. It's with the leg. It's an issue with the shot clock that Parisi just attending to. Now it's showing that there's good time, I think.
Officiating crew here, making sure everything is correct. Luka certainly taking the time to have a few words with the official. Soho inside, a little inside-outside game. Zamora, this time activated from 3.
Well, they've been white hot, both teams from the field. Look at this, we're just a little over halfway through, and look at the scoreboard.
And Doncic just having his way in the paint.
It is 9 of 10 from the field for Slovenia, and Venezuela have done an outstanding job on the offensive end. They've given up 25 points in a little over 5.5 minutes. Traveling
Call. Zamora stopped in his tracks.
This has been some scoring explosion by both these teams. 9 of 10 for Slovenia, and Venezuela a 7 of 9, and they still trail it by 6. And finally, Venezuela decide to have a look at his own defense. Might as well.
And the corner fadeaway is off. Rebound saved by Slovenia.
They reset the shot clock. They shouldn't have.
I think Dragic was surprised as well. Oh, Kubian's pass. Interrupted there by Nikolic. And a substitution here. Dragic comes on. As well as Chebacek. 6-point advantage for Slovenia here on the curl. Pereira. That one felt good.
first team to play some defense is going to have the advantage. There's a lot of wrestling going on, but there's been wide open looks. And Venezuela, the first one to try something different, and that something different did not work. A 1-2-2 zone defense, and when you've got Luka with his size can throw over the top, that's a real easy two to Mike Toby.
Zamora.
Oh my goodness.
And he's feeling hot. A heat check for Zamora. He's got 6 points, back-to-back three-pointers.
7 of 9 for Venezuela from the three-point line. 3 of 6 from the three-point line. As we see the replay, 3 of 6 from the three-point line for Slovenia. But Slovenia are 10 of 13 from the field. And they only lead it by 2.
With 13 points here in the first quarter.
Well, we might have to get the statisticians on alert here because this is some shooting performance by both these teams in the first quarter.
We got to call in our OptiFacts friend.
We need our OptiFacts to get some details because we still got a little over 2 minutes to play in the quarter. And Luka's got 14.
Efficiency on display here in Okinawa. Being guarded tightly there by Blajic. Trying and shoot. Soho still got it.
Oh, I have not seen anything like this in quite some time.
Soho
8 of 10.
12.
3 points made.
And then another feed down low from Doncic. It's too easy to get it into Mike Toby.
Yeah, they need a lot more ball pressure. And I'm not sure the zone has been the answer.
Last touched by Venezuela, so Slovenia earns out the possession.
Fernando Dura from Venezuela is trying different things, and there you see it's as easy as that. Luka's sending signals, just telling him where to go. And they give up on the zone. Go back to a man.
The takeaway here for Venezuela. Stepping through, Kubian. Won't go. His teammates there for the rebound. How about another shot? Soho, you still got it. No whistle here. Pereira and Doncic on each other's backs. Meanwhile, slow to pick up Doncic coming up the floor. And a rare miss.
Yeah, and the test for Venezuela is, can they keep this going? We know that Slovenia got a lot of firepower. Puts a lot of pressure on your offense when you can't get stops.
Inside feed foul on the floor. It's going to go against Mike Toby. His first. Team's third. Toby will take a breather. Stepping out for him will be Giga Dimets for the final 47-40. Soho with the rock. Spinning through traffic, can't get it to go down with Colmenares.
Chibashek, they've called the foul on the spin move. It was a quick spin move. Chibashek down low. There you see, not quite in position. And, well, you know, another one that perhaps could have gone either way, or even maybe a no call on a play like that. But this has been an impressive start by both these teams. Really efficient.
Colmenares hits the first. He's part of that group that's been together over the last 10+ years for Venezuela. 5 players have really grown up as the core of this national team. A 1-point ball game. Slovenia gets across half court just fine. Here comes the screen, the no-look pass. A little miscommunication there. And Soho's running lane, extra pass. Good look by Kupian, and he does his job! Venezuela takes the lead. And a timeout called by Slovenia.
Well, that's unusual. There's 16 seconds remaining to burn a timeout in this stage when you only get a couple in the first half, and just the efficiency, the penetration, the kick out, the wide open three, and the pace of play that Venezuela is playing at is right to their liking, and everything looks good when the ball's going through the hole. 9 of 13 now. 9 3-point field goals made in the first half, first quarter.
Okay. Odigrajmo zdaj 21 klirov, odigrajte. Oziroma gremo kar takole, Luka. Greš čez, če bo zon prej postavi ir, Jaža probamo tele visoko pik naredi, Prle, Blažo, pa Čeba. Pik, dol iskosi, Prle, ven Čeba se malo dvigneš in tukaj napadamo ti parola. Okay,
So Coach Sekulic there takes a timeout. Andrew, if you had that time, what would you be sharing with your team?
Well, right now, he's just drawing it up for a player in the quarter. It's an unusual time to call a timeout, but burn one of your timeouts here just to get a specific play for the last play of the quarter.
4 for 5 from 3-point range for Soho. Wow. 10 seconds to go. Doncic with the ball, working off the screen. Gonna try and do some shake and bake. He's going right at the rack. Oh, miss. And that is the buzzer. Doncic wants the foul. Instead, he's gonna have to settle for a no basket. At the end of the first 10 minutes, it's Venezuela up by 2, 33-31.
Luka Doncic's not happy, but I just saw nothing in it. In fact, Luka Doncic, almost every possession he gets, he's looking at the officials and perhaps trying to work them and condition them. An outstanding first quarter for him, 5 of 8 with the 14 points.
I want to say that Slovenia jumped out to an early 8-point lead that dwindled away, and
well, it was a
later half of that quarter.
Yeah, it was just some lights out shooting by both teams, something we haven't seen so far. And Venezuela 11 of 15 in total. There we saw that crazy play. Michael Carrera, very lucky. That's real dangerous. And down the other end, he shows his brute strength just to get to the rim and finish around the rim. But it's been a fun game to watch when you see such elite, high-level shooting by both these teams. That young man there, 22, 23 years of age, Gali Soho, came out and he led the way for Venezuela. 4 of 5. My goodness.
And to think these two teams played about 2 years ago. The final score there was 98-70, but you learn so much playing a team a second go around. And for those of you looking at your screen right now, make sure you go ahead and scan that QR code and make sure you have that Courtside 1891 app. It's where all the games, scores, streams, schedules, everything you could possibly want. And don't forget to follow at FIBA WC on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The content team is working so hard here in Okinawa, Manila, and Jakarta to bring you guys the best behind-the-scenes footage, videos, a lot of the fun storylines away from the court, too.
Another off-the-ball foul. This time it was Gali Soho on the switch. A lot of switching going on when you're trying to guard Luka. He got caught trying to guard the big, fouled him.
Metz trying to give the ball up quickly. Doncic comes for it. No look past, corner look open. His teammate could not complete the play. Doncic there, not giving up. Michael Carrera just happened to be on the receiving end of that one as Doncic picks up his second personal.
There we saw the poke. That was the one that should have been caught on Blazic, but it wasn't. But Luka ended up getting it the second crack at it.
Carrera, a launch, way off its mark. Doncic running. Try it again. How about to Beijing? He makes it this time.
Luka's just got such vision. Cross-court pass to the guy in the corner, and there's a foul.
Off the screen here.
Well, the extended pressure in Venezuela trying to help out the guards to create a bit of separation, but Colmenares, have a look at this. Gee, I think it was just that dropping in the, it's only a subtle right pick, but there it is. Luka Doncic and surveys the floor, able to read the defense perfectly. And wide open, Shabashek with the three ball in the corner. Luka
Second go around.
And Luka gets a rest right now with only a 1-point lead. And that was a big issue in Tokyo. He had to log, he ended up logging a little over 33 minutes a game, I think it was, off memory. And it just wore him down in that bronze medal game after the heartbreaking loss to France in the semi-final. He takes its toll, so as much rest as they can get for Luka, the better off they're going to be as this tournament rolls on.
Turnover here as Prepelic attempted to get the ball over. Venezuela has an opportunity.
Travel.
With Doncic on the bench.
What it is, and some really good action by Venezuela. A lot of movement, trying to get loose. And Zamora that time, just a little quick shuffle step before he put the ball to the floor, gets called for the travel.
Nikolic here running the offense for Slovenia. A pass disrupted. And Venezuela wanting it a little bit more.
But they do want it. I saw Venezuela a week and a half ago. They had 3 games in Melbourne, Australia, in a series against Australia, Brazil, and South Sudan, and they were comprehensively beaten in all of them. In fact, Australia beat them by over 50. This is a vastly different Venezuela team than we saw a week and a half ago.
So this is a group that started training together on July 17th. They traveled through Caracas, Spain, France, and ended their journey with you in Australia, Andrew, all in preparation for these games.
It is, and when I say vastly different, not vastly different in personnel, just vastly different in the way in which they're playing and approaching it. Full credit to them, because they haven't had an easy time of it. That can be demoralizing as you're preparing, but they have experienced team showing no signs of that, playing with great spirit.
Prepelic from deep, a miss. His teammate there, Blazic, will keep it going. Another chance here for Slovenia. He'll take it himself, laying on the left. Timeout here called by Fernando Duro in Venezuela. That was the first bucket since Doncic took a seat.
The 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup Global Partner, TCL, bringing you the TCL Emoji Cam. Let's make the emoji faces together.
En el rol, uno. En el rol se lo están comiendo, está quedando metido solo. Primero. Igual ahora, corte más rápido este, no esperen que pase acá, corte más rápido que este pase está entrando, David, este pase está entrando. Ahora no nos relajemos en defensa, hombre. No nos relajemos, recién quedó 2 contra 1 acá, no entiendo por qué. ¿Está claro?
For those of you that are just joining us, Luka Doncic and his display so far here, 14 points. The first half as Slovenia makes their FIBA World Cup debut against Venezuela here in Okinawa, Japan.
I don't know whether it's the Slovenian uniform or what, but Luka just looks fitter. Into the last NBA season, looked like, you know, he wasn't out of shape, but just didn't look as sharp as what he looks physically here. His game was always sharp, but looks like he's really put in some work in the off-season. Looks like he's in the best shape we've seen him for quite some time.
An offensive foul here for Venezuela. Going to go against Miguel Ruiz.
And Ruiz there. Jeez. You see a whole lot of movement there from Ruiz, and that's what you see these days. You see the defenders just flopping and throwing their arms in around just to try to get an offensive foul called.
So you're saying that's not how you played back in the day?
Oh, we did a lot of flopping as well, but that there, I don't know what more you want the screener to do. He looked like he was set, stationary. Didn't look like he dropped his shoulder or moved too much. Maybe we had a bad camera angle. We've got 28 of them here, or something of that order, but it certainly looked that the defender sold that. Got to be allowed to set a screen. And I'm all for cracking down on moving screens and illegal screens, but the guy's stationary.
Belic behind the screen will fall and make it and one. He gets to have a shot and making this a 4-point play. Clement for Belic.
Michael Carrera comes out. It's just a miscommunication there, whether they thought they were switching that play or not. But Carrera was caught behind. Late closeout, makes the contact, potential 4-point play.
If you've heard the name for Belic often here, because there's 2 of them on the floor, and Clement just got his own rebound. He's got a cousin on the team as well. And working into the hoop was Jakub Ležić. Slovenia now out to an 8-point advantage. Doncic still on the bench, getting a breather.
Well, he went out when they were only a point up.
And Gamara working around the horn. Can he finish? No.
So it's been good minutes. It's been encouraging for the coach that they get some rest for Luka, and they're still able to extend the lead.
Well, you were talking about the efficiency that was shooting from the field for both teams, and when was it gonna subside, right?
Yeah.
We're starting to see that happen with Venezuela.
That's spot on. They had 33 in the first quarter, and 3 and a bit minutes into the second, they've yet to register a point. But the scoreboard continues to tick over for Slovenia.
bonus now. So from here on out, every foul that's handed over from Venezuela, Slovenia will be on the free throw line.
Klayman Prepelic. He was another one that had a huge role. 15 points a game in their Tokyo Olympic campaign.
He's a third of the way there now. Lineup change here for Venezuela. Not rewarded on that defensive effort. But the shot clock remains the same. Still 8 seconds now. Again with the ball. Going right to the rack. Extra pass down low. Gets it to go. Miguel Reyes.
It's just a great heads-up play. Look at the pass. Ruiz in the right place at the right time. Help out his teammates and he's to the line to shoot the bonus. Really good penetration in that last 6 seconds of the shot clock. Nothing on, put your head down, try and get to the rim, get to the free throw line, get a bit of both on that action.
And the 32-year-old completes the three-point play.
Token full court pressure there. Showing a 1-2-1-1 extended pressure.
Prepelic beating the block. Skip it outside. Blazic forced to take the shot. And there is a violation.
Really good defensive set. They had their rotations down pat. The coach has seen enough, says Luka Doncic. Sends him back out there. Along with Dragic.
And number 30,
So 7-point lead for Dragic and Doncic as they come back out. This is primarily a second unit out here for Venezuela. Again, with the ball. Hard to keep his eyes up. And he's fouled before. His teammates trailed him.
Guillen's caused some problems. Again, the pace. Shot clock running down. His ability to get into the paint. You saw the beautiful pass, that possession before. This time gets tripped trying to get there. And they are doing, Venezuela, a really good job of loosening up the defense. There's a lot of off-the-ball screening action with their offensive sets. And asked a lot of questions of this Slovenian defense. It's labor-intensive to guard an offense like that, but it's also labor-intensive to run it, particularly when they're allowing so much contact off the ball, towing around the defender a lot of the time. And ability to stay with it. And we see again, it's token pressure. They're up, they're looking for something, but it's really just a bit of a con, what they're doing now with their extended pressure.
And there's no love lost between these two teams, meeting back in 2021 on the road to Tokyo. Slovenia, who ended Venezuela's opportunity to go to Tokyo.
I think it's just ridiculous how easy Luka Doncic makes this game of basketball look.
In trouble here. Luka stays back. Doncic now. The pass. Corner shot, a miss. He wanted that assist. Again, the key. And Churio nearly loses his handle. Little fadeaway jumper, way off. Doncic now pushing forward. Going to spin through the lane and get stripped on his way up.
There's a flop warning as well. And it's going again, I think it's went against Drogic. So they warn the coaches, another flop, and it's going to result in a technical foul.
Ball right back into Doncic. Clearing out the baseline. And here he'll get the whistle.
Jose Martin down low. He was left on an island, and it was a scary island. You cannot just expect Jose Martin to guard Luka Doncic by himself.
Talk about a game of Survivor out there.
That's what it was, and Doncic goes to the line and for a couple, and earned his way there. Knew that he had Martin in all sorts of problems, and is crafty enough to draw the foul. This guy already a four-time NBA first team All-Star. Been a Rookie of the Year. He's also won a EuroLeague championship. EuroLeague MVP back in his Real Madrid days.
Driving, dishing, stepping through Carrera, no. Work around to the baseline. 3 seconds, gotta get it up. That shot is short.
Love the closeout, the extra commitment. There was 3 or 4 times there was half opportunities for the 3-ball, but Slovenia showing the determination on those closeout. It's earned the respect in the way Venezuela has shot the ball from the 3-point line.
Doncic. Pass intended there for Nikolic. Churio. 3-ball. Up by Maturin. Makes him pay. Nikolic. Gives it up. Nikolic here. Dine, extra pass. High-low game, in effect. No.
3-second call.
3-second call. Doncic can't believe it.
I think it was right. Toby was in there a long time, and they were doing all right. He had the mismatch, and with that size advantage, they were fronting him, so he called for the high-low, which was absolutely the right thing to do. But just in there a little too long. Doncic doesn't like it. So I think it was the correct call.
Header comes through, turn, shoot for Churio. A miss, Carrera contesting down there on top of the ball. No whistle yet, and here it comes.
Fans appreciating the hustle, the determination. Michael Carrera, he's not going to take a backward step from anyone.
And the ball will stay here with Venezuela. The arena is shaking right now. The fans into this game. Yent to Carrera. Behind Gratterall. Off its mark. And reality's starting to settle in.
Spot on.
Doncic with the roll, tries to hit Toby. Open look now for Nikolic. And option number 2 hits his mark. The lead now out to 9, Slovenia's biggest lead of the game. Pass into Gratterall, double comes quickly, and they will cough it up.
A combination of Venezuela just going off the boil a little bit with their shooting. And there we see the nice kick-out pass. Wide open, Nikolic in the corner. But also the intensity on the defense by Slovenia has picked up a couple of notches in this second quarter. Oh.
An offensive call against Toby here. He wants an explainer, and so does Coach Sekulic.
Martin was outsized down low, and I think we're talking a couple of possessions ago about a flopping warning. He might have got away with one there with a flop.
Venezuela is going to take a timeout here, and we're going to try and listen in as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup global partner TCL brings you the sweetest activities for the entire game. This is the TCL Dance Camp. Don't be shy. Show us what you got. Here on the big screen. Let's go.
A Michael, primera opción. Segunda opción, bloquea el tuyo para que salga Materán.
Está pendiente porque lo están fronteando a él. Para hacerle el high low.
Pedro, Materán. Mike. Se va Pedro, bloquea acá. Es para vos, para abajo.
El que está haciendo la cortina. Está haciendo que ya va. Está haciendo bump conmigo. No hagas cortina.
So 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Andrew, Slovenia building a bit of a cushion, 9-point advantage. How does Venezuela keep this tight?
Well, they were able to keep it tight in the first quarter, which was an outstanding quarter. They had 33, and it's all dried up in this second. They've only got the 8 points, and a lot of credit goes to Slovenia and the defense that they've been able to apply. Venezuela have got already 10 3-point field goals made. Do they have the capacity to stay on track with that? Because that's what they're going to need to do, based on what we've seen.
And an answer here by Jose Matarin.
Well, that's the 11th 3. Only one team in World Cup history has got more than 20 3-point field goals made, and that was Canada in 2019. Venezuela are on track.
Substitution. Slovenia number 7, Klemen Prepelic.
Stepping on here is Klemen Prepelic. Seconds left here in the first half of play. You're watching the FIBA Men's World Cup Group F play in Okinawa, Japan. Venezuela's second chance here. Herrera, baseline mid-range, had a nice little tap by his teammate Gratterall.
That's just hustle. Great offensive rebound attack on the rim by Gratterall.
Doncic.
Yep.
Made it clear he was touched.
Well, he's so good when he knows the team's in the bonus. So good at drawing fouls. Have a look here. Gratterall, no one boxes him out. But it's the effort. You got to make that effort every single time. You might make that effort 10 times and only get rewarded once. But if you don't do it 10 times, you won't get it that once. And that time, he gets the reward. But Luka down the other end, he's just such a basketball savant. Just the IQ off the charts. Understands the game, the situation, the clock, the whole package. Knew they were in the bonus, and that time there just made enough contact to work his way to the free throw line and shoot a couple of free throws.
His first miss of the contest, too. He's 5 for 6 from the free throw line.
And it has been an area of his game which, if you're looking for You know where there might be some area from improvement. It has been a little inconsistent at times. 74% from the free throw line in the NBA last season. Gets there a lot, of course. Shoots a lot of free throws.
Left alone, enough time to drain it. Nothing but nylon for a chin. 3-point game. Doncic staying low, step back three from downtown.
My glory-filled days. This is just a delight to see the master executing his craft to perfection.
Gent will try his hand, top of the key, short, gobbled up there by Toby. And Doncic has 10 seconds to play with here. Doncic trying to get past Gratterall.
Again.
And the foul happens on the floor, so he's going to get some more free throws here.
It's an interesting decision. There's the on-ball screen. Gratterall has forced to come out, and they switched. I reckon you're almost better off double teaming him. Get the ball out of his hands, make someone else beat you. That was the play before with the step back. But in that last possession, you see the Slovenian fans happy watching the master do his thing with 22 points, make that 23. But when you're in that last 6 seconds, last 8 seconds, just trap him, get the ball out of his hands. If someone else beats you, so be it. But the odds are far better if someone else is making a play rather than this man who was putting on a clinic.
Follow through. And the finish, 24 points for Doncic as he checks out.
2.8 seconds remaining.
Zamora will let it fly from
Wow!
the court, and he gets it before the half! Holy smokes, Jordan Zamora!
Well, that's symbolic of the shooting we've seen from Venezuela this first half. They have been on another level from the three-point line. 12 of 25 in the three-quarter. Leg bomb. Nothing but net.
If you thought all the momentum was heading in Slovenia's favor here at their break, catch yourself, because we've got 20 more minutes of play here at the break. It's Slovenia up by 5, 56-51.
Wow, what an end to the half, and justifiably so. Venezuela, they're coming into this contest thinking we're gonna shoot it at 53% and have 51 points at the halftime break. They would not have thought they'd be trailing it by 5, but such is the brilliance of Slovenia, and in particular, the main man, Luka Doncic, with 24 points. It has been a fun half of basketball. 67% for Slovenia. And we have asked the question of Venezuela, how long can they keep it up? How long can Slovenia keep this offensive juggernaut going?
You see the performance, Doncic, Toby, and Nikolic. Venezuela able to counter, keep pace. We're down by as many as 9. It's a 5-point game here with the midway point, and you can imagine halftime adjustments coming for both sides.
And I reckon both these teams at the halftime break, their focus is going to be on defense. Hey, we can't do much better than what we're doing at the offensive end. We look at the key players, Luka Doncic really getting it done. You can't compare it to Michael Carraro. Carraro has been solid himself with the 7 points, 2 of 3, showed a lot of passion out there, but Luka just on another level.
He's had help from Soho too. Soho for Venezuela has 12 points and pretty fluid from 3. But Slovenia here able to have their way through the gut of the defense and then show you why you need to come out and play them beyond the arc.
Yeah, it's been an offensive shootout. And it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of contact. There's possessions there where there's a lot of physicality, but both the teams, I think, will go into the halftime break, just look at their structures a little bit. Venezuela, they were the first to try and make some changes. They had a look at a zone defense, but their zone looked highly porous, and as such, they were only in it for a couple of minutes. And Luka just getting the fans in raptures. Soho, he's been lights out as well. Didn't do much in the second quarter, but the bulk of Soho's offense coming in the first. And just an extraordinary display with combined 107 points in the half.
And Mathurin just giving a boost here of lately. Doncic showed us he can score about anywhere on the court. Feels real comfortable, and then the finisher by Jordan Zamora to give Venezuela a lift here and some confidence heading into the break. Right now, they trail by 5. It's Slovenia 56, Venezuela 51.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
Well, halfway played here in the first quarter. Find Melly. Melly goes up, and my goodness gracious, Nico Melly. Are you kidding me? Well, he just served up the help side defense. There's Vucevic again. Count it! 27!
And the Chicago Bulls star is right now the Montenegro star.
Outside step up, pick and pop.
Bounce pass. Oh, and going up, and Tadas with the foul. Also going to the line for an and one. So did Kerskis.
I mean, fantastic zone attack. Great pass here from Brezdikas. And a fantastic finish.
I know a lot of his Orlando Magic fans are watching from home. In the late night as the feet is disrupted. Kapa there.
Weak side help, really good. Josh Giddey goes in, think he's got something cheap.
Floater, no, it's a pass. Tice with the slam.
Beautifully set up by Dennis Schroeder.
Gutierrez to Stoll, now Paco Cruz over to Jaimes. Oh, what a shot, what a play, and one. Jaimes showing some athleticism.
This is a beautiful play here. Paco Cruz, great delivery, and like you said, Jeff, fantastic athletic finish.
Oh, got caught in the air, but finds the cutter. No good, though, as Latvia now a 2-on-1. They go up in the air, and it is good by Spitz. Well, Lebanon now, and Coach Jan El-Haj wants to call a timeout. How about that, Mark?
Exum, here you go. Cooks, that's what he wanted last go-around.
Dante Exum has been a factor in this third quarter. He is driving at will, getting to his spot. You need some help.
Goes right at the defense, tough pass. Now Canada with a chance to run. Dort, who's just checked in. Oh, he's blocked by Batum. SGA gives it back. Brooks just goes all the way to the basket.
is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back inside Okinawa Arena. It's halftime here between Venezuela and Slovenia. Scoreboard reads 56 Slovenia, 51 Venezuela. Here's a look at Garly Soho and how he's been able to snag his 12 points and lead the way in scoring through the first half.
Yeah, it is. He's one of the younger guys, really bouncy. He's got great athleticism, and he's going to need to do that and more. And he's also been charged with a lot of the responsibilities down the other end. Spent a lot of time trying to guard Luka Doncic, and you go into the halftime, and if they have a look at the stat sheet and sees 24 points on 7 of 10 shooting, he'd be concerned. But it's nothing to be ashamed of, because he's one of the greatest players in the world right now. And I think Soho has tried to match him as best he can with his work down the other end of the floor. But this has been special to be in the building to see this man do his work. The game just comes so easy to him, and he can beat you in so many ways. We see the way in which he can get to the rim, his size, he can pass and shoot. Little hand, the little subtle actions, the little push off there to create some space for himself. Just such a smart basketball player. And reads the defense, knows when to attack. And of course, when you've got this in your repertoire, you've got to step back. And this is a guy that is 201 centimeters tall. That is hard to guard. And that's very typical of shot charts you see from players, particularly in the NBA. Nothing in the mid-range. It's all at the rim and the three ball. And the thing that sticks out on that chart, there's a lot of green there, Despina.
I think only 2 red
Not
spots.
too much red. Well, he's actually missed 3 shots. He's 7 of 10 in total, but this is fun to watch.
Got 4 assists to go along with that stat line. 3 rebounds by Blazic. Was your game leader so far here at the halftime break. And for those of you that are just joining us, I'm Despina Barton. Andrew Gase, the FIBA Hall of Famer, next to me. Venezuela and Slovenia here matching up for the second time in their history. The last time they met was in 2021 in the qualifying rounds for the Olympic Tokyos, and Slovenia won then, 98-70. But both have had time to study one another, become familiar. We've got a really tight contest here at the break.
We are. A lot of talk about Slovenia and, of course, Luka Doncic, because it's captivating watching him, but we're almost being a little blasé about the effort that Venezuela has put forward because of the greatness of Luka. But 51 points in a half against Slovenia is great going. And Soho leads the way with 12, but they have just been really good from the three-point line. 12 and 25, including that last halftime bomb that from three-quarter court, there was nothing but net.
Jordan Zamora had everybody on their feet at the buzzer.
It was one of those shots that you just felt the way the game had gone in that first half. You almost expected to go in. Such has been the shooting by both these teams. But Venezuela, they have gotten multiple contributors. They've played 11 guys, and they've been able to get value out of someone like Zamora, who has got the 9 points, including that last bomb. But they've pretty much spread it around for their 51. Unlike with Luka, who's got those 24 and dominated down the other end. Mike Tobey's been super efficient for his 9 points for Slovenia. But Venezuela, they have kept themselves in a position to cause an upset. And You know, Venezuela, when you start this game, they were never ever going to go into this thing thinking, well, we're going to blow Slovenia out. It was always about trying to keep the game tight, and in that last 3 or 4 minutes, give yourself an opportunity to get a surprise win. So they would not be disappointed with only trailing by 5 at the half, but they would realise they need to make some adjustments on the defensive end if they're going to have a chance to pull off a surprise win.
And what a momentous victory that would be. Venezuela has never beaten a European team in World Cup play. If you were Coach Duro at the break, what was your message to this Venezuelan squad, Andrew?
Well, defense. Defense, defense, defense. You've got to find a way to slow down Luka. And as I mentioned, you might have to gamble. Just send 2 guys at him. Get the ball out of his hands as much as you can. Now, the issue with that, he plays just as well off the ball as he does on the ball. But when he's got it, on those on-ball screens, maybe blitz it, double team it, try and be a little bit more disruptive, because Slovenia, they're so efficient. 67% shooting in a half. I mean, that is outrageous. And a lot of that, though, I think that comes at Venezuela, and they got to rethink their strategies.
Be ready, take left. Luka, ti organizeri. Mike, you're going to be here. Zoki, Čule, naredi kratki braz kriza, vrneta, pas, pinteraj blok, pa bež nazaj, pass inside.
So here we are, start of the 3rd quarter. 5-point game, Venezuela trailing. And no time like the present to make sure you've downloaded the Courtside 1891 app. Scan the QR code on your screen. Go ahead and make sure you have that on your phone. Slovenia ball. This is a unit that finished just off that podium in Tokyo. Knew they needed to clean up their defense. And facing a familiar foe in Venezuela. Doncic, first 3, taken, and it's a miss.
That's a let-off. Wide open look, one of the easier 3-point field goal attempts that Luka's had all night.
Soho, he gets the first shot at it. And a foul on the floor. This one's gonna go against Doncic.
A little.
Gonna be his 3rd personal.
Yeah, and that's why he's so upset. It was just a little push in the back. And he thought he got away with it. Have a look. Right there. Now, there's not a lot in it, and Michael Carrera sold it.
So a fresh shot clock. Venezuela with the ball, and more importantly now, Doncic with 3 personal fouls on his slate.
Slovenia ball.
Coach Alexander Sekulic, he didn't flinch though. 3 fouls. Sometimes you might be thinking, well, maybe we might need to give him a spell, but I think it's the right move. Keep him in there. Right now, trying to break the game open for Slovenia.
Doncic through the gut, easy lay-in and 1.
And that only happens because there's good off-the-ball action. So there was a stagger screen on the weak side. They're all concerned about what's happening, and it opens right up for Luka, but you can't have that. The guys on the weak side who are guarding the screener on that stagger action, they need to get off and fill the lane. He's got to see a crowd. If he sees just daylight, he's too big, too strong, gets to the rim and can finish at the rim as good as anyone in the world.
You can see some of the Dallas Mavericks jerseys in the stands here. Supporters traveling near and far to catch a glimpse of Luka Doncic. We're in Okinawa, Japan, the site for the Group E and F play, the group play, the first round of the World Cup. Doncic driving left, gives it right back to him, can't finish. A little disruption there as we're running with Soho. The foul handed over by Nikolic.
Dragic missed one that he didn't realize how open he was. Doncic, yeah, Doncic was able to sneak a pass through such a small opening. Dragic just missed a gimme.
Soho on the block, turn, shoot, hook, good. Nikolic working off the screen. Mike Toby's turn now. Gets tangled up, takeaway. Coleman there is the feed to Soho. Strong take and one. Venezuela taking control of their own destiny.
Soho, 16 points and good defense, hustle play, activity on the ball, 2-on-1. Dragic, excuse me. Yes, it was, just with the foul. And he was vertical, he was straight up, but he continued to move forward on Soho. So Soho with the chance for the N1.
The 23-year-old putting on a showcase for Venezuela here. Doncic, shoulder down, head down. Extra pass made, his buddy Toby.
The vision, the execution.
Lead push back out to 5. Doncic with the steal, takes his time.
Now he's in the lane. Getting it done on the defensive end. Ain't not through anything other than just being in the right place at the right time. It's going to count anyway. Slap in the backboard. And it's going to be Vargas, who's going to be credited with the 2. Big Toby went up and tried to block it, just slapped the backboard. Can't do that, that's a goaltend.
He comes into Toby. On Zamora, he makes his move and it's good for 2.
Toby down low. He just can't, he needs help. Size advantage to Toby. They gotta send some help down there.
Vargas. Floater is short. Doncic, step back 3. Fadeaway's a miss. His teammates got the rebound. How about Toby top of the key? He's just as good. Ice in his veins.
Concerning signs now for Venezuela. Nice jump out. 11-6 start in this quarter for Slovenia. Not textbook, a lot of risk for Toby. Wide open, getting it done from the 3-point line. Toby's a perfect 7 of 7 from the field for his 16 points.
Todo bien, pum, rebote ofensivo. Tranquila, ten punto. Gregory. Vamos con 0 con Garly. Garly por el pick. Salí, si viene Doncic.
Behind the back, no looker feed Doncic to Toby. They've got some chemistry out there, huh?
Well, they do. We saw that at the Tokyo Olympics, and that's the play. You see Zamora, the size advantage that Toby has got over Zamora. And if you're just going to allow him to play one-on-one in that low block, Toby, too skilled, too big in that position. Zamora perhaps can do a better job of half running. Making it harder for him to catch it that close on that box to the basket.
So 10-point lead for Slovenia here. 3.5 into the third quarter. Ball knocked away. Doncic on the push.
Unselfish play.
You saw Dragic give the look back, but he was so close to the basket.
Yeah, that's right. Dragic, the pass was actually a lot harder than just finishing the shot. But he saw Doncic there, and it so sends a message when you make a play like that, how unselfish you need to be.
Substitutions here. We're seeing Klayman Prevelic back on the floor. And Alexei Nikolic will take a break. Doncic on the free throw line. He gets 2.
As I mentioned, it's in every game that from time to time can be a little shaky. I don't know why, because that is just, it's a really good free throw shooting technique. There's a lot of wrist in his shot. If you get a chance and you watch him shoot a 3-ball, watch the speed of the rotation. It'd be half as quicker than most great shooters. A lot of that's coming because of the wrist action when he shoots it. A little flicking action. Still a really nice shooting stroke.
Catching on the fly. A little extra space there for Maturin. Doesn't matter. Doncic waits for the rest of the crew to show up. Clearing out for Toby. Here comes the cutter. Dragic misses. Toby cleans it up. A reset. Fresh shot clock. Kubian staying low on Doncic. A bullet to the corner. And Slovenia keeping the possession alive. Toby. And a foul handed over before he can make the play.
Kubian did the right thing. He was completely outside, so sacrificial foul there just to make sure that an easy 2 doesn't come their way. And this next 3 or 4 minutes could really tell the whole big picture of this game. Venezuela just get a sense that they're just hanging on right now.
Prevelic, corner to Doncic. He's got the size advantage here and a mismatch. He'll turn, shoot, fade away, makes it look easy. Doncic now at 32.
Sometimes your best defense is your offense, and right now, if I'm Venezuela with Doncic on 3 fouls, I don't know what Coach Duro's got in his playbook, but whoever Doncic is guarding, try and put it in his hands and just go at the rim and try and get him picking up that 4th foul. See, right now, even just ISO plays, just
Carrera breaking through the trap.
problem with that, though, is that if it's not built into your system and you just got to create it randomly, it's a lot of standing around and can sometimes be a little disruptive to your own offensive momentum. So it's finding that balance. But anytime you have a chance to attack Luka in the half court right now, that should be the go-to to try and get him picking up that 4th foul and get him on that bench.
Makes perfect sense to me, Andrew. And no legs there for Carrera. They've been flying around all game. One goes down. Already out court for Palic. And the clean-up man on the weak side, Demet.
And that's the consequence of when you get beat with the extended defense. A 1-2-1-1, you get it over the top of that front line, you're going to be exposed at the other end.
Seven to shoot. Maturin spinning. Carrera taking the three on the wing.
Defensive.
Clear as day here.
I don't think it was intentional, but lifted the elbow.
And that's going to be the fifth team foul for Slovenia. So moving forward is the bonus here in the rest of the third quarter for Venezuela.
As I mentioned, you see the foul. Demet's really just trading time with Mike Toby. They're the two big fellas. Usually one of those two is on the floor pretty much most of the time.
Carrera, spin, shoot, baseline, mid-range, off. Everybody kind of watching wherever this ball's gonna land. Carrera, right place, right time. Misses the easy layup. He's gonna beat himself up for that.
See, that time he went away from Luka. Luka's coming out there, he's got the arms taking a swipe at it where he's trying to keep his distance, but if you can just get your body in with Luka making a swipe like that, that's an opportunity to pick up that fourth foul.
Little extra touchy underneath the basket.
Palic, I think it is.
Maturin and
a little tap on the tush by each of them, so I think they've worked out their indifferences.
Maturin on the screen, and he'll hit it from three. Baseline beauty.
Much needed hit, just keeps him in that distance. Trailing by 12, but starting to get away from him.
Doncic step back three, jumper misses. Trio with the rebound. Gets it back, little pump fake. Inside Carrera, going to work, nearly stripped, and he'll travel. The official saying he had control.
That was an example of what I was talking about, though. Doncic was guarding Carrera, so they put him in the box, and on the box, and they throw it into him. And you can see that Doncic, that just a little hesitant. Doesn't want to pick up that fourth.
Left alone, Palic. Brett Palic. Lemon. Now back out to 15. Head down, right to the rack. Denied there by the rim is Colmenares. And he picked in the pocket from Doncic. All alone. Hustle play there. And Colmenares matches up a little bit better with Doncic.
Well, he does, and he can see the body on the screen, bottom right-hand corner before that. He's not in any sort of help position. He's just trying to guard this man.
Staying in front, but there seemed to be some contact. Doncic will head to the free throw line.
And what Colmenares was doing is the right idea. Just up in the lanes, trying to deny him a catch. Don't let him catch it. You've seen how tough it is to stop him. The craftiness of Luka Doncic down low. Herky jerky head fakes and eventually draws the foul on Colmenares.
It's his third personal, so has to play things a little differently here.
3 misses now, 10 of 13 from the free throw line. He's also got 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Luka. He's going to get a rest.
Let's get a rest. Luka Doncic, his stat line, 33 points. Would you have that at 5 rebounds, 5 assists?
That's the one.
That's the one. His team up by 14. Under 2 to play here in the third quarter. Kubian and company for Venezuela, trying to make up for some lost ground. 5 to shoot. Kubian driving left, met with a suit. Foul Colmenares, that's his 4th.
Yeah, he was caught behind.
D-Mets.
Luka wants an unsportsmanlike. Even on the bench, Luka actively involved. Thought it was just a grab.
Okay.
They're going to review it. I'm not sure if this is a challenge or I don't think it's a challenge for an upgrade, but they've got an official review. Have a look, and it's gonna be a close call because you look at down the bottom of the on-ball screen. You see number 43, Colmenares, just grabs. No, that, and then just pulls. Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. See which way it goes.
I think we're going to be able to listen to them deliberate too, Andrew.
For me, it's still like not hitting me in the face. It's a holding and nothing. And this is not... Normal basketball play, okay? We confirm normal basketball play. Confirm the call.
Well, I don't agree it's a normal basketball play, but I will agree that they were both holding each other, so I think it may not tick all the boxes technically just to be a regular foul, but I think morally it's the right decision. A regular foul, 2 free throws, and let's get on with it.
Listen, if Luka Doncic wants a replay and another evaluation, you know, we saw Coach Sekulic make sure they got a second look.
And that play there, I guess they were arguing that, you know, he's just trying to fight around, use his arms to fight around to get in front. I guess it just comes down to interpretation some of the times. But ultimately, I think they got the right conclusion. And a couple of missed free throws, so goes to the advantage of Venezuela.
Extra pass, though, Kubian hitting the feet of Churio. Makes up a little bit of time. This defense pretty stifling for Slovenia. Churio, nothing there, and a shot clock violation.
And to me, we saw in the first half, but to me, that's way too much action with the ball. A lot of standing around, pass, dribble, pass, dribble. Need some more action to loosen up the defense because the defense on the weak side really doesn't have to do too much. It's all stationary.
For Balic, going through the gut, and he's earned himself a pair of free throws. That's the type of defense I like to play.
Which one's that?
Where the weak side gets to chill.
Right. Well, that's where you get beat on the back cuts. You're just chilling, you're ball watching, and any good offense when they see that, The timing with the ball carrier, get behind the defense.
Free throw will be number 7, Roman Perkins. 2 shots.
First one on this for Klemen Prepelic, 30-year-old point guard for Slovenia. 1 for 2.
The story for Venezuela has been their own scoring. 33 in the first quarter, 18 in the second, and in this one, third quarter, they only got the 12 points.
So Fuentes with the ball, gonna attack.
Slovenia. Number 7, Klemen Prepelic. Personal.
Prepelic with the foul. What we're seeing Slovenia do on those high on balls, those middle on balls where they're coming and they're trapping.
He's gonna, if it's happening, he's gonna go.
What I'm suggesting that is a good idea when, for Venezuela, when Luka is out there, just trap and try and get the ball out of their hands of the main man. And Slovenia are executing quite well the last couple of times.
So Fuentes misses both. 22 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Venezuela slowing down Slovenia. A second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Nikolic gets it over to Prepelic. Very close to that half-court line. Nemeth. Shot goes up. Nothing there. Nikolic attempted to add a couple more before the break. At the end of the third quarter, though, Slovenia spreading out its lead 78-63, a 15-point advantage heading into the final 10 minutes.
Well, as we suggested earlier on, how long could Venezuela continue to maintain such a high offensive output? And it's slowly deteriorated as the game has gone on. 33 first quarter, 18 the second, and only 12 in the third. And the shooting percentage is now starting to tape up, 47%. And at the other end, Slovenia being able to keep it ticking over. 62% from the field is just outstanding shooting and efficiency on the offensive end. There's been some good moments. Soho, he's got 16 points, but he's the only one in double figures for Venezuela. Being able to spread it around. And the story of the night is going to be, again, Luka Doncic, 33 points at three-quarter time. Mike Tobey has played Robin the Batman with the 16 points and the 4 rebounds. But it's hard. It's hard when you can't get stops. And that's what Venezuela's biggest problem has been. Yeah, their offense was a struggle in that second, but they have not been able to find an answer on the defensive end.
And Doncic picked up his third personal foul early in that third quarter. We would have thought surely the offense would have been attacking directly on his side of the court, but it doesn't seem like that was the intent, at least thus far, from Coach Duro.
Well, it wasn't as conscious as I think I would have made it if I was out there. And again, that's something you got to prepare for. That's got to be in your repertoire. Trying to do that on the fly is difficult.
So start with the fourth. Doncic still resting. And a push out of bounds. Alexei Nikolic and his second personal foul. He hit.
Second personal.
He's thrust into our table. Deep three. Man run. Now Prepeli, other wing, rolls in and out. Rebound covered up there by Cefantes. We're running with Ant. At the feet. The attempt here to get the ball to Mataran in the last 2 trips down court.
Prepelic thought he was going to get fouled and just threw up a prayer, and he didn't get the whistle. And out of frustration, turns around and just slaps at it, gets his own personal foul.
To the free throw line extended. Can't seem to make a bucket here.
It's complete opposite to what we saw in the first half of Venezuela.
Prepelic, left hand, left lane.
Unfortunately for Venezuela, it's impacting what they're doing on the defensive end. The communication and the help needed to take away some of the penetration. Wide open lanes starting to open up.
Shot in the corner. Out of desperation there by Soho. And Nikolic just getting battered out there.
Number 14, Luis.
Venezuela.
Second.
And we got Luis pick up
And substitution.
the foul.
Michael Carrera. And 7, Jonathan Zamora.
Substitutions here.
That also changes. Completely different look. And this is usually what happens when a coach sees that things are just not going well, need to change things up. That's what he's done, Coach Duro.
Foul from behind Carrera.
Look, he got a lot of the ball, but I think it's with the body. So it's clean up top, but it's the push with the body is what caused him to get the foul.
Number 7, Clippers, 2 shots.
12 points here for Prepelic. Snags another as his team continues to push out the lead. It's now 19. 8 minutes to play. Opening matchup for the 2023 FIBA Men's World Cup. Group F play. Slovenia, Venezuela. We're in Okinawa, Japan. Despina Barton alongside Andrew Gage. And that was Ghent with the fadeaway mid-range.
First basket in the last quarter after only having 12 in the third. Again, we've got a mismatch. Soho down low. Just took a while to get there. Good hustle by Venezuela. Soho did a terrific job.
Slovenia, Prepelic.
Clayman Prepelic picks up his third personal foul.
And substitution. Number 10, Mike Tommy.
You showed the shot sheet of Luka Doncic at the break, and those mid-range shots aren't in his game.
No, he has the capacity. When he gets head of steam up, he can get to his spot, and that spot's usually in the paint.
That one coming from the bench of Slovenia. How much fight does this team have? Prepelic in the eye of Soho, ice cold in his veins. Ghent through the gut while everyone's sleeping on the other end.
Doesn't like that.
And a Timeout here called by Coach Sekulic in Slovenia.
Sekulic really upset with Slovenia on the defensive transition. Nice 3-ball down one end, and they're caught napping in half pace in the D-trans. Just asked the question of Luka, just by the body language there. Hey, Luka, how you feeling about this? We've got a nice margin. Do you want some run? And looked like Luka said, I'm okay, thanks. Oh, no, he said, yeah, I'm ready to go. Misinterpreted.
Hey, we are not controlling the gaps. Guys, listen to me. Gaps. The foul. After basket, they score.
It looks like we will see Luka Doncic come back out here in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Too close for comfort, huh?
Well, that's right. Well, I think they feel pretty good about where they're at. 15-point lead. It's just a little under 7 minutes to go, but as expected, Sekulic using a bit of English. You see the Luka fans? There's Luka's dad is in the crowd. And family coming to support Luka. And his dad would be impressed with what Luka's dished up here this evening. But as expected, Coach Sekulic really concerned about the defense, the lanes that were opening up, and the defensive transition.
Toby, extra pass, catching him off his mark, and Prepelic making Venezuela pay. Soho, one dribble up. That one will roll in for Colmenares. Doncic surveying here. Colmenares with 4 fouls. Doncic drives at him. No whistle. The win out by Colmenares.
Blazic was in the corner, and as Doncic was making that drive, he lifted to the 45 and caught Doncic off guard. Doncic throws it out of bounds.
Soho, other side. Off back rim, we'll keep it here. Colmenares. Another miss, that one Zamara. The feet up, Toby. Drawing 2, Zamara picks his pocket. We're out to the races. And a quick pause. They're really hungry and wanting that 3-ball.
They were the ones that were dropping in the first half, and they're drawing blanks in the second. Toby got away with a push-off.
Doncic creating his own, a miss. Giant now pushing forward. Differential 15 points. Under 5 to play.
Oh, dribble. They get the foul, but he's got pretty much 4 guys standing around. Just watch one guy dribbling. The ball movement, the man movement, the cutting, the screening. That's what happens when fatigue starts to kick in. Start to second guess yourself because you're dealing with a cranked up Slovenian defense. It's hard to cut. That's what you have to do in order to get yourself better at scoring opportunities.
Again, driving, looking for a teammate. He did find Herrera. Here comes the pressure D. Staying low there is Soho. Proving the point of how difficult it is to stay in front of Doncic.
It is. Luka complaining even when he gets the calls. Soho there, and it was the reach-in that got him. Just to make sure there was no chance for the M1, but it's called that a shooting. Called that a shooting foul?
They did, Andrew. They did.
Oh, maybe I misread when the foul was actually called, and it might have been on Carrera and not that early reach-in, I guess. Well, they did call it on Soho. I'm not sure if Luka had collected that and was in the act of shooting, but ends up getting to the free throw line.
35 points now after those two made free throws. Ian, top of the key. That one will finally go down. Cuts the lead to 12.
They're just hanging around. They're just keeping themselves in distance.
Swing shot by Toby.
Yes.
And an answer.
Well, Toby's a perfect 8 of 8 from the field, including 3 of 3 from the three-point line.
Soho making a strike. Blocked by Doncic. Shot clock at 3. Has to get it up. It does in time, but nothing there. Doncic splitting defenders. And that foul will be the 4th team foul for Venezuela. And it's going to go ahead and send Almenara's out of the game, his 5th personal.
Doncic continues to stuff the stat sheet. Gets a block. 35 points. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Venezuela extend the defense. The ball didn't hit the rim, so only 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time to get into some action.
Doncic. Trying to create a little space here. A little too congested to take away. Yent will pull it out. Torio pump fake. Little closer.
Nice.
Plays it to left alone on the wing. Won't go down. His buddy Toby. Weak side putback. Toby with 21 points. Torio, much deeper than he was before. He's got the last 5 for Venezuela.
It's fun to watch Luka, both with the brilliance you see on the floor, but also the way in which that he engages with the refs, all constantly asking the question.
He's an advocate for himself and his team. I think everybody could use a Luka on on their roster and in life.
Yeah, he's putting on a show, giving the fans here almost capacity's out as far as tickets sold. There was no tickets available to purchase.
Hey, listen to me. Focus now on the game. Nothing else, and defense. We need to defend. Hey, no shot, Zoki. Šuter je, neka smo ne testiramo nobenga. Okay, ajde, next play. Hey, no three, hey. Mike, no three. Hey, gremo. Luka, brez bloka, tle. Da, Luka si ide. Nisamo išće žogo, Luka si tu. Gremo cross screen. Če se bil? Igre za blašta. Zoki, delaš blok. Za Majka, greš ven. Prve, podaš.
Fans fired up here inside Okinawa Arena. They've got one of the best in the world on the floor right now.
Getting really passionate about their basketball here in Japan. Got a here at Okinawa.
Under 2 minutes to play. Doncic going to the rack. He's contested. Doesn't matter.
Looked like he was going up to try and flush it. Saw the defense is there. And the hang time from the superstar.
Pushes the lead to 14. Churio. That one, a heat check. And Prepelic here wanting to slow things down for Slovenia. Toby, the cutter. And the put down. Dragic.
There's a technical foul being called on Slovenia's bench because they tried to get it. They were trying to get a substitution going on. And it was
You out, okay?
Sekulic.
Technical one shot.
He's upset at the scorer's bench. And again, it was the official on the other side of the floor who saw what the goings on. And he's called a technical foul. You look at this powerful Slovenian team, and they're missing one of their prime movers. Vlatko Kanka, who plays for the championship Denver Nuggets in a pre-tournament game against Greece. He, unfortunately, tore his ACL, so he's going to be on the sidelines for some chunk or most of the next NBA season as well. And he was one that was another prime mover in Tokyo Olympics campaign, where he averaged almost 13 points a game, 4 rebounds. So to not have Kanka there is a big setback for Slovenia.
So after all that, Doncic on the bench, under a minute to play.
Travel.
And travel against the end. And Slovenia here in motion. Prepelic working behind the screen. With feed up to Maturin. Venezuela with the bucket in transition.
This has been a highly credible performance by Venezuela. And from the look of what we're seeing here from Venezuela, if they can maintain their scoring like we saw for big chunks of this game, they're going to give the other two competitors in this competition a real shake with Georgia and Cape Verde, the other two teams, and it's the top two teams that advance.
You got to keep the gas, though.
Well, you do. And relying purely on your offense is not going to get it done. And they'll go back and look at this one. And they had a downer in that third period where they only scored the 12. But the big issue is how they defend. They've really, at no time in this contest, seemed at any sort of control on the defensive end. Giving up now 100 points at not just 100, it's the 59% at which Slovenia has been able to shoot the ball at.
Tomorrow we'll get one more try at it. And Slovenia walking this one out. A 15-point victory for Slovenia and coach Alexander Sekulic. And of course, his superstar, Luka Doncic. This victory now gives Slovenia 4 straight opening World Cup victories by more than 10 points. Your thoughts on their opening contest here, Andrew?
Well, they ticked a lot of boxes. Their offense was great. Luka was superb, the way in which he led his team. He was on a triple-double watch, 7 rebounds and 6 assists to go along with the 37 points at a highly efficient 11 of 18. A little off from the three-point line, only 25% 2 from 8, but we'll forgive him when he's dropping 37 at 61%. And they had some issues guarding the three-point line, Slovenia. They cranked it up in that second, so clearly they've got it in them to get out and beat a high-level defensive team. But Venezuela, 40 three-point field goal attempts. They only had 67 field goal attempts in total, 40 of them coming from the three-point line. They knocked down 16, which is really good shooting, and it was that three-point shooting at 40% that kept them in this game for the vast majority of it. And as you'd expect with the TCL player of the game, it's going to go the way of Luka Doncic.
37 points. He did get a lot of rest there in the fourth quarter. We saw him get some rest in the second as well.
He still got 31 minutes, but you're right, there were some chunks there, good chunks of time where he was on the bench, and here we have on the floor the presentation of the TCL player of the game. And it's Luka Doncic who gets another hand from the fans. You look at the statistical breakdown, have a look at the rebound advantage going the way of Slovenia. 39-23, and a lot of that's got to do with the size issues that Venezuela faced. And Soho, he was at 12 in the first, only 4 in the second, and they just weren't able to keep it going, Venezuela. But they showed enough to know that they are right in this group activities with Georgia and Cape Verde to come.
Exactly. So for Venezuela, they will have a rest day tomorrow and then face Cape Verde, which is making their first appearance here in the FIBA World Cup. And Slovenia, the 8th-ranked team in the world, will now prepare to face Georgia, who had some inklings to a Germany squad. They showed us some nice things earlier today. How do you foresee that matchup going?
Well, it's going to be a tough one. I think even Slovenia is going to have their hands full with Georgia because of their size. But I think we all expect that Slovenia will have the advantage. But we saw what happened in Euro 22 against Poland in the quarterfinal. Anything can happen if you're not on your game. Georgia have got enough talent to test a lot of teams in this competition, including Slovenia. And it was lights-out shooting that got them over the line. Georgia don't have that same level of shooting that we saw tonight. But this man here is not going to get a lot of the accolades, but he deserves them. Luka's going to be the story of the game with his 37 points, but Mike Toby, 21 points, perfect from the field. 9 of 9 from the field, and he's also perfect from the free throw line, because he didn't take any. So I'm calling that a clean slate when it comes to his shooting. And highly efficient.
Outing.
5 rebounds as well. A little down. He was a double-double in the Olympics, and there's that beautiful hang time play.
You can tell him and Doncic just have some chemistry built up over the years here, competing together. It's Luka Doncic in Slovenia that walk away with a victory in night number 1. For Andrew Gaze, I'm Despina Barton. The final score, Slovenia 100, Venezuela 85. It's Luka Doncic and company with the victory tonight from Okinawa, Japan.